Hello all, I hope you're doing as best as you possibly can be right now. You've heard me say this before, but I'm gonna say it again and I'm sticking with it. Our friends over at Isotope create the most thoughtfully and intuitively designed software for audio repair, mixing, and mastering. We use their tools every single day, whether it's podcasting, editing, drums, bass, vocals, you get it. We love it, we use it, and we think you should too. Go over to isotope.com and check it out. That's isotope.com. Use code FRET10 at checkout. Do your best to be better.
John here, and we've got a new sponsor, DistroKid. Now that you've finished your latest Pirate Math Sponge Core Twitch trek, it's time to get it out there so everyone can hear it. DistroKid helps musicians get their music on all the major streaming platforms, and artists keep 100% of their royalties. And because you're a High Gain listener, you get 30% off. Just go to distrokid.com/VIP/highgain. That's distrokid.com/VIP/highgain. And now DistroKid has an app. The DistroKid app is available for iOS and Android. You can download it at distrokid.com/app or in the app and Play stores.
Oh, hey, it's me, Ed Peterson.
Hi, Ed. It's me, John Kiltica.
John, it's the High Gain Podcast.
It is the High Gain Podcast.
Episode 349?
Yes.
Episode 349.
Second to last.
Oh, my God. The penultimate is what we call that.
Oh, is that what that is?
I think so, right?
Penultimate means
before the end.
Oh, that puts a lot of pressure.
For sure. But we got a good one. We got a good guitar because we talk about guitars.
Oh, that's right.
The High Gain Podcast. It's a couple guys
Yes.
like to sit around and talk about guitars.
Yes.
We're in beautiful West Seattle.
We are.
It's a little rainy.
It is.
Just so people know. And we record these a little ahead of time. I got to drop something on you that I think is potentially going to put a damper on the ep.
Oh boy.
Like legit. We just lost Jimmy Carter.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
In the real time?
Like seconds ago.
101?
100.
You know, it doesn't seem like it even does it justice, but
yeah.
Maybe he gets another one.
Yeah. The double dong. The old Jimmy double dong. Bummer. My son's name is Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think his post-presidential career, pretty amazing.
Agreed.
In the 27 years since I named my son Carter, maybe I've kind of like looked at his presidential legacy with a little more historical perspective. And I think maybe he started some of the bend to conservatism and neoliberalism, kind of went a little more right. And we've never stopped. I don't want to put that all on him.
No.
You know, you had October Surprise, you had Reagan, you had a lot of stuff going against the guy.
Once the October Surprise happened and Reagan was in there, anything Carter might have done to contribute to the rightwards shift paled.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think good guy.
Yeah. R.I.P. President James Carter.
Yep. That guitar looks sick. Can I ask a question before we get too far?
Yes.
Where's it made?
China.
Okay. China.
This guitar is brand new.
Oh, okay.
Brand new model this year.
Yeah. I don't want to be disappointed with the answer that you just gave. I was a little like, are they doing a USA Firebird? They are not.
This is the Epiphone inspired by Gibson 1963 Firebird I.
It looks great.
Brand new, $1,300.
Love it.
We got this one from the fine folk over there at Thunder Road Guitars.
ThunderRoadGuitars.com?
Yeah, that's them.
Okay. I have that deal where those things are awesome and I need one of those. those. And the Firebird was one of those. Rickenbacker, the 360.
Yeah, Jazzmaster.
Jazzmaster, exactly.
Yeah.
The Firebird, it's a big guitar.
It is a longer guitar, and I think just from a practical standpoint, for me anyway, that means a bigger case, harder to lug around, and it also means a little bit of a neck dive.
Yep.
They've tried to counter that on this model by having 3 strap pegs, one on the top shoulder, one on the back, but then also behind the neck.
Yep.
Hopefully you can figure out where the strap's going to go to help you with that.
Beverages.
Yes, Ed, Beverages.
Yeah. I've got a coffee in a crow mug.
Yeah.
Just kind of doing that thing. And I have a Soleil.
That's French.
Yeah, for drink this water.
Yeah.
It's a original sparkling water, just bubbly water in a can. You got bubbly water in a can, it looks like.
I do, with a couple of other ingredients added to it. But
Yeah.
generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Coca-Cola original taste.
Oh my gosh, the best.
I'm a 100% recycled bottle. I'm pretty sure nothing's recyclable.
What are you saying?
I don't know if I believe it.
Oh,
Have you watched that movie Buy This?
no.
Maybe don't unless you want to be very disappointed.
In plastic and...
Consumer culture generally.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, we went to Maui recently, and that was lovely.
I have a follow-up on your Maui trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You said that there were wild chickens everywhere.
Yeah.
And I said, are you allowed to eat the chickens? And you said you didn't know, but they are everywhere.
Yes.
The overarching law is you are not allowed to eat the wild chickens
Okay.
unless they come onto your private property.
Yeah.
So I don't know, if you're going to build a house on Maui, maybe leave a place for the chickens to get through, because then, there's your dinner.
I don't really eat chickens. That's not really my thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
I would probably feed them and
Yeah.
do that instead.
yeah, that's cool too.
That's like eating them, feeding them.
Yeah.
I did go to one public beach. Someone had left like one of those plastic lawn chairs, the like hard plastic,
Yeah.
like kind of a picnic table-y kind of chair. And it had cracked and there were pieces of it on the beach. And I cleaned it up.
Fantastic.
It was on a beach that there were like turtles and shit. And
Yeah.
so I cleaned it up. And I got a local giving me the thank you, brother. And
All right.
I gave him the fist.
Yeah.
Guitar talk.
This thing has one pickup.
Yep. Mini humbucker?
Yeah. There are some people who have described the sound of them as being kind of between a Les Paul and some sort of Fender, like a Tele or Strat.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see if I turn off some of the dirt. I'll put the tone in the middle. I guess. Put a little overdrive on it. It's got a bite to it. That's
Yeah,
for
I think
sure.
it sounds great.
I think we could use a little bit of a recap.
Epiphone, Firebird, Gibson. What are we recapping?
The origins of the Firebird.
Great.
Gibson introduced the model in 1963.
Okay.
So this Epiphone 1963 Firebird is spec'd to match the 1963 Gibson version.
Yep.
When they introduced it in 63, they introduced all the models all up at that same year.
Okay.
There's this one that was the single pickup. There's a 2, which was actually a bass. There was a 3 that had 2 pickups
God damn it.
and came with a vibrola if that's a thing you wanted.
No.
There was a 4 that was also a bass. There's a 5, 2 pickups, the Lyre vibrola, had all kinds of
Yeah.
like trapezoid inlays,
Yeah.
neck binding, fancier.
Yep.
And then there was a 7, 3 pickups, also fancy
Yeah.
with the inlays and the binding.
And the vibrola.
The Lyre Vibrola, yeah, super fancy.
Mm-hmm.
By 1965, they went with the non-reverse because in 1965, Fender had threatened legal action over use of the headstock
Uh-huh.
the other way and the body shape. I don't see it, but I guess Fender did.
What did they think they were copying?
Did they think it was like kind of an offset? You got me like...
Yeah, like what guitar does this look like in the Fender lineup?
It seems to me like they were probably pushing their luck. But I guess Gibson didn't want anything to do with it,
Huh.
so fine.
How's the action on that?
On this one?
Yeah.
Let's see. Excuse the little hum buzz stuff we're getting, but there we go. That's not bad. It could be a little high. As I mentioned, we got this from Thunder Road Guitars.
ThunderRoadGuitars.com.
Yes, and it is brand new,
Yeah. So maybe hasn't even been set
so
up.
it perhaps has not been set up yet.
Mm-hmm.
1976, Gibson made the bicentennial ones
Yep.
that would have the Firebird on the pickguard as this one does, but instead of being all red, it was red, white, and blue. In the 80s, they made the Firebird II Artist. It had active Moog electronics in it
Negative.
and 2 standard humbuckers.
Yeah.
That non-reverse that they did,
Mm-hmm.
they reintroduced the non-reverse in 2002. So there were enough people that liked it.
I think the non-reverse is just goofy.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. The Firebird's just, it is such a cool guitar. That is why I bought it. And it's just one of those guitars where it was not comfortable to play for me. It was just kind of too big and little neck divey. And
Even for me, like big guy, like playing an open E, I feel like I'm stretching
Yeah.
my left hand way
Right.
out there. It's all right.
yeah. The bridge on it is like at potentially the midway point of the body.
Right.
There's a whole lot of ass hanging off the end of this thing.
That's true.
When you play it, you just really got to reach. And I didn't dig that. I feel like the people who play this guitar, I'm throwing this out there. I can't get in the mind of any of these dudes.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with the pickups. This is a sick looking guitar. And I want to play a sick looking guitar.
Yeah.
In my things I care about, oh, how does it look? Is it black? Okay. Those are top tier.
Ed's decision tree.
The pyramid. Yeah.
Right.
Very bottom, tone wood.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
We talk about tone woods, and I think generally speaking, you and I are on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
How shitty does the wood have to be before you're going to notice it?
Very.
Cardboard.
Kind of. That would probably be a very light guitar, which I think I would like a lot.
Yeah.
There's those people who are like, oh, it really affects the tone. And I just think you blindfold that guy and you buy a Sonics, I don't think he's going to be able to spot the tone wood. Anyway, people
Yes.
buy this guitar because it's sick.
I agree. The last bit of history of the Firebird is the infamous episode.
The steamroller.
Yeah, the Firebird X.
Mm-hmm.
3 pickups, auto tuners, onboard digital effects, processing output.
Really? It had all that stuff?
That's where Henry thought everything was going. But rather than like strip some of that stuff out and make something of it,
Yep.
they threw it all in a pit and ran over it with a steamroller. and that video then leaked to the
Yes.
internets.
Yes, I love it. Mm-hmm.
So the now times.
Uh-huh.
Now here we are in 2024
Yep.
with this Epiphone inspired by Gibson 1963 Firebird I.
Yeah.
Reverse solid body electric, made in China, as we've mentioned. It's all mahogany. Like any other Firebird, the neck goes all the way through this central piece that's raised up, and then these mahogany wings are glued onto the sides,
Yep.
which is kind of cool because they are glued at a lower height than the central neck part. So when they put the pickguard on it sits flush with it.
Yep.
It's a polyester finish, comes in 3 colors. Heather, which is kind of like a burgundy mist,
Yeah.
almost.
Okay.
There's heather that's that color. A silver mist, and this Inverness green.
The green looks awesome.
I really like it.
Ooh.
Oh, you're gassed up and ready to go, Ed. Back to 1963.
Yep.
Gibson has released the Firebird. This single pickup version has struck your fancy. You want one.
Yeah, I do.
What are you going to pay in $1963 for a Firebird 1?
I'm coming off a hot run.
You've been right in there.
$849.
In 1963?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
So far off.
$189.50. Who's going to pay $863 for a student model guitar or anything?
I'm delirious over here. See, we got to end this show, John. $350 and I'm out of here. Today dollars.
1953?
Yeah.
Either way, these have beat inflation.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me, Ed, how much is a 1963 Firebird 1?
Gibson Firebird I, 1963. $16,500.
What color is it?
Sunbursty. For sure, if you're in the market for a Firebird and you think like, man, this thing looks cool as hell and I really want one of these.
Play one first.
You want to play one. Like, you don't want to play it on your lap. You want to get a strap, stand up, and actually feel what it feels like to play that thing. I'm sure tons of people probably just love that, like, reachiness of it. I could not do it.
Same with a baritone. A longer scale baritone can be that way.
Yeah.
You gotta try it. Try and decide. Is it hello or goodbye? Buy or deny?
Ed, you could spend $16,000 on a 1963
Yes.
Firebird 1.
Yes.
Or you can get this $1,300 Epiphone inspired by Gibson 1963 Firebird 1.
A much cooler color, matching headstock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buy or deny.
All the reasons I've talked about, it's a deny. It's not a guitar I can play. Like, I just cannot play it. Me, I think if you want a guitar that standing up and playing looks cool as hell, like one of the coolest looking guitars you can possibly play, this is it. This is your guitar.
Yeah.
100%. Legitimately, I don't know if there's a cooler looking guitar.
It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I just love them.
Okay, then, would you want a 1, 2, or 3 pickup Firebird?
There's so many variations they've done over the years. Either the 1 or the 2. No way I would want the 3. The 1 or the 2, I think just the cleanness of the 1 is so nice.
It's nice.
It's just super clean. What I wouldn't want is the 2 with the vibrola stuff. I would want to stop tailpiece.
Agreed.
You know, but the 2 pickups. And that was definitely an option.
Yeah, there are a lot of options with hardtails.
Yeah. If you haven't played one of these, they are worth playing just to figure out, like, do I like this?
Yeah, is this my thing? Yeah.
I want to say I tend to not care so much about scale length, but I think I actually do care quite a bit about scale length.
I think when stuff gets super awkward, I notice it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't really cared so much.
Yeah. Maybe that's how I am.
I make note of it. Neck width, neck thickness, scale length, when they get too far outside of like a particular range,
Comfort.
like, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
notice it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like if it's in the ballpark, yeah, fine by me.
Yeah. That's probably how I am too.
And the neck on this is pretty beefy, but it's not like baseball bat. It's got some mass to it. Maybe it has to have it for how long it is. I don't know.
Yep. What about you?
I'd say just on principle, this is a buy. As I mentioned earlier, man, if this was US, the finish would be nitro that would wear nicer over time and, all of that.
You mean US Epiphone?
Yeah,
US
made in the US.
Epiphone.
Epiphone.
Though. Like you'd still be cool with that.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
if Gibson wants to step up and make like an affordable
Right.
something that's
Yeah.
outside the custom line.
Yeah, I just feel like 1,300 feels like a lot to me also. That's not really in my buy or deny calculation.
I think this is where it's all going. Even Fender, like a lot of the Mexican stuff is like $2,000. And so I think
Yeah, that's crazy.
that phrase that you're hearing more and more, offshore premium, and I'm sure that's just some like international consortium of snappy marketing names came up with that.
Yeah,
Hey, what happens when you're offshore? Let's just call it offshore premium.
perfect.
That's not to say that the quality of the product that can be made overseas isn't good, and this thing's really nice too.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's happening. People who are sick of thinking of overseas guitars as pieces of shit, let's start getting them used to the idea that it doesn't have to be that way. How are we going to do that? Well, let's just charge more. They'll think it's better. You can't just charge more and they'll think it's better. Well, if we call it offshore premium, we can.
Oh,
Oh, okay, boss.
the whole reason to do the offshore was so they could have the $120 electric guitar market.
It's maybe more honest than some of the earlier attempts at it, where companies would say, oh no, every single guitar comes back to the US and is hand set up by us. Well,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to think of that?
I doubt that offshore premium is going to the offshore workers.
Oh,
Like none
no,
of that money is going to increased living conditions for workers in those countries. It is all just going to the bottom line.
I wonder what they're trying to do. So, like on the back of this, the control panel says Epiphone inspired by Gibson Custom, right? Their little thing.
Yeah.
But the serial number that is stamped into the neck has a series of numbers and then the letters IGC for inspired by Gibson Custom. So they're taking pains to make sure that if somebody removes this control plate, that you still know that it's part of this series.
Yeah.
Are they worried somebody will bag the truss rod,
Yep.
bag the control plate,
Yeah.
and call it a Gibson?
Man, it's been forever since we talked about it. But there was the whole thing with the Les Pauls, and the binding was a different thickness because it was like,
Because people were doing the exact same thing. Look at this vintage Les Paul, and the thickness of the binding was uniform all the way around the body,
yeah,
and people would just swap out parts and be like, look, it's original.
right,
So they made the binding as it meets the neck and probably thick.
right.
So unless you were going to change the binding, you weren't going to get away with that anymore.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever really gone into it on the show. The fake market, why bother doing that? There are workers in plants that can build a two-spec 1963 Firebird that would take a very trained eye
Yeah,
to spot,
yeah, it's true.
and that ain't me.
It's not me.
Uh-uh.
Well, so we'll take pictures of this so you can all be suitably educated.
Rest easy.
And we'll put them up on the Instagram
That'll be great.
for you all to see.
People love that.
Yep.
Get on the Discord.
Get on the Discord.
Now's
get on
the time.
the Instagram.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. 349.
Episode 349.
I think we did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
Let's come back next time for the end of the end.
Oh my God. We probably should put the slightest amount of planning into 350.
Okay. Yeah. Special thanks to the Ruinous Media Network of music-related podcasts.
They're killing it over there.
And they've been great to us.
They have a ton of great podcasts
Yes.
that are not ending. They might end on episode 350. It's just very few of them have 350 episodes.
It's true. 7 years is kind of a long time, it turns out.
Little bit.
In the podcast realm.
Yeah. I think it's something like If you get 30 episodes out, you are in the top 10% of all podcasts.
That's amazing. We applaud anyone who's doing this.
Yeah.
I know I do because I've had a unique insight into what it takes to get these things out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super easy. Okay, one more and
Okay, let's do it.
let's do it.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.